All right, so now that the smoke has settled down a little bit, I wanted to give you guys a review of the Yeezy Boost. Wait a minute. Yeezy 500 Desert Rat. Wait a minute. Yeezy 500 Blush. This video, I wanted to give you guys some pros and cons on this pair of sneakers right here, which is the blush colorway of the Yeezy 500. It's really tough for me not to say Yeezy Boost. Am I the only one? Leave a comment if you guys are in that same habit. But this is one of the first models, other than I think the Calabasas, to not have Boost in it, which is an interesting adjustment for most of the Yeezy consumers out there. Even the Wave Runners had Boost in it, but this one specifically just does not. It actually features the Adiprene Plus technology, as you can see on the midsole. This was actually featured on a pair of Kobe's back in the day, the KB8 3s in 1999. And this material is definitely a lot firmer than Boost. It's actually more of a performance type material, so it's interesting that they put it on a dad trainer like the Yeezy 500s. These released in April and the retail price was $200. The original colorway on this was actually called the Desert Rat. They actually changed it to the blush colorway, but if you look really close now, you can see underneath here it actually says Desert Rat 500. So at some point they decided to change this from the Yeezy Desert Rat 500 to just the Yeezy 500. I don't know the origins as to why they ended up changing the colorway. If you guys know, leave a comment in the comment section, but just something I wanted to point out to you guys. I would say that these fit true to size. I got a size 9 and they fit me a little bit snug. Probably should have got a 9.5. Before I get into the pros and cons, I just wanted to give you guys just kind of a quick overview of the shoe. First of all, you can see the huge bulky midsole that has all sorts of sculptures and shapes. There's definitely some really nice rubber traction on parts of the shoe, and then you have some softer foam kind of parts in between. And all the way around the shoe right here is actually rubber guarded, which is kind of an interesting thing because for pictures I really couldn't pick up that this was actually rubber. And then you move your way up one layer and this is a nice kind of a softer suede type of material. The toe box though has a real nappy suede all over the toe section and then also on the little pods right here for the lockdown, and then also in the little loop around the back side, finishing up on the heel. You got a lot of perforation on the tongue, but you also have another oval design all over the tongue. There's definitely like a lot of ovals and pods all over this shoe. You have a front pull tab here, no rear pull tab, and then obviously you have the mesh in between all of the pods. I think that this does a tremendous job bringing back that old school sort of vibe of like having so many different patches and layers instead of just a Flyknit upper where it's just one piece. Like we love to see Flyknit simplistic one piece uppers, but at the same time, like it's just so simple and it's just like, you can't really do that many things. This I feel like they could do a ton with if they actually did different color blocking all over the upper. Like there's so many opportunities to have accent colors here and there. I don't know why he did just one color. Part of the reason why the Wave Runners actually grew on me is because of the color blocking. It was just so original and just different, and it took on like its own persona because of it. And I think that that's something that the 500s as of right now are lacking. The shoes also do have an insole here. You can see it says Yeezy Ortholite, and then it has some crazy colors on the bottom of the shoe. So that's unfortunate because this is the only colors on the shoe on the bottom of the insole. You can't even see it. And I don't know about you guys, but my shoes didn't come with any insoles, any like padding paper or anything like that. It was just pretty odd. Usually they have something inside of the shoe like holding all the structure, but they didn't have that with this one. And this is just one of those models that people are gonna love to hate. One thing I will say is it seems that this is a shoe that a lot of people hated on originally, but then once people actually got their pairs, they were pleasantly surprised. And leave a comment or a thumbs up on the video if that was you, where you got your pair and you were like, this is way better than I expected. The nappy suede is really, really nice. It's a nice quality material. Even though it doesn't have Boost on it, it's actually pretty comfortable, surprisingly comfortable considering you probably thought it was gonna be absolutely atrocious. So I feel like this is just one of those pairs of shoes where it was like an underdog. Because the hype died down, because the resale dropped, it became the underdog Yeezy. And because of that, it definitely has its own cult following now where people actually really dig the model. And I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of a different side to the sneaker culture that I like to explore and see more of. So I did reach out to you guys on Twitter and ask you guys what are some of the pros and cons of the 500s in your opinion. And I said I would feature them in the video. So here you guys go for those people that actually tweeted me. I'm gonna go ahead and read off some of these answers as I go through my pro and con list as well. So starting off with the pros first. The Yeezy 500s are definitely riding out that shoe wave of the dad shoe vibes. And the Yeezy Wave Runners definitely help start that wave, but this is just another one of those where you put it on and it's chunky and funky on your feet and people dig it. As I mentioned, the materials in hand are much better than expected. And also most people that actually cop the shoes to keep really actually enjoy the product in hand and on feet. Another pro is that it was really pretty easy to cop online. These things were available for hours. It wasn't very difficult to buy at all. It seems like a lot of people just didn't see the resale in the shoe, so they decided to skip on the shoe, so it made it easier for those that actually really wanted the shoes. And to piggyback on that, the resale is really low. You can check out StockX to see the prices are extremely low on the shoe. You can get these for $300 or less. Prices seem to be going back up, but the prices were as low as like $230. And I hate to say it, but having no boost on this shoe is actually a plus to some people because, again, they were just pleasantly surprised. It was kind of the underdog because they were expecting it to be terrible on feet, and then they tried it on. They were actually like, whoa, these are actually not that bad. Everything isn't about boost. And I think that that definitely was a moment where people didn't realize that there was going to be something else that could be offered in the Yeezy line other than boost. I also think that because of the performance type midsole on this shoe, even though it has a bunch of different crazy pods and whatnot, the stability is actually pretty good. And as I mentioned, it has an overall performance feel on the shoe instead of just a casual dad shoe trainer. Another pro that you guys mentioned was the minimal branding on the shoe. You have the Adidas logo on the front right there, the Adiprene logo, the Adidas logo right there, no Adidas branding on the bottom, and no Adidas branding on the tongue. Definitely surprisingly minimal. A lot of people said also that the upper was really cozy and comfortable. Some people were wondering if it's going to be considered a timeless shoe in 3 to 5 years. Definitely a good point. Not sure if that's going to happen. A lot of people definitely mentioned that it has a premium feel on feet and kind of felt well made. Billy mentioned that he likes this colorway, said it was very versatile just in itself, and I thought that is a good point. I personally just like earth tone kind of sneakers for me. So moving on to some of the cons. Dad shoe vibes are not for everybody. If you're not really feeling that dad wave, then you're really not going to be feeling these shoes. They definitely have a chunky feel and look on feet. The price point of $200 seems like pretty high. I don't know. I would have preferred like $160 for these. I mean, if Yeezy Boosts are $220, you get Boost. You have a 20-year-old midsole and they're still charging $200. Even with the premium uppers, it seems pretty extreme, especially when the Calabasas are like only $120. And on that note, like another con is the fact that they had to recycle a midsole. You couldn't have ultimate creativity create something else. It seems like they just dug in the archives and found something to be able to use, so they didn't have to dig into the pockets deep, and they could probably increase their profit margins because of that. Although I will say the Yeezy one from Nike did the same thing. You guys remember those tech challenges. And another con, even though it was a pro to some, but it could be a con to others, that this just doesn't have boost. I personally would think that the Yeezy 700s would be more comfortable than these because it does have that drop-in boost. But leave a comment, have you guys tried both of them? Is the 700s more comfortable than the 500s? I personally am a boost head, so I would definitely rather have boost than the Adiprene, but at the same time, I appreciate that they're trying to bring something different to the table. And another con worth mentioning, even though it's probably not worth mentioning, is did these actually kill the Yeezy hype? It seems like Yeezys have had a downward spiral since the 2 releases of the Yeezy Boost 350 V2s from the end of last year. And because those ones were mass produced, then you had the Calabasas in the black colorway, followed up with these, and all 4 of those seem to be pretty mass produced. This is the one that was kind of on the table for being something that would have been good for the resale market or bad, I guess it depends. And considering the resale was so incredibly low, did that kill the Yeezy hype? Now, I know some of you guys are like, it doesn't matter about hype, blah, 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 blah. Like, it shouldn't matter, you just wear what you like. At the end of the day, you're talking about Yeezys, which are literally built off of the hype. Like, ground up, they're built off of word of mouth and the hype. So it is really relevant when you're talking about Yeezys and sneakers. I don't know if they really killed the hype, but I think it was a buzz kill, and it definitely was a buyer beware when they dropped so much in price. I think they were going for 600s, and then they dropped down for like 2s and 250s and less. Like, because of that, I think that a lot of people were really cautious on the market, and a lot of people were just selling them as quick as they possibly could. Another con that people mentioned was that the suede itself, although it's really nice, is just really hard to clean. And also having so much mesh on the upper is just not a very good thing for durability. Another thing is because of all the intricate details at the bottom of the sole, they do tend to get dirty pretty easily. Also noteworthy, again, the name change was just really odd how it went from Desert Rat to Blush. No word of reasons why, but it happened. And the last con is just really the colorways. Some people really like them, like I don't mind this one, but I also have hopes and expectations that we're gonna get something awesome because of the different layers to the shoe. It could be so good if they actually add some pop and some color to the shoe. So all of the monotone looks to the shoe is just not doing the shoe justice, in my opinion. And the last thing I wanted to mention is just some of the metrics that I usually go over. And just trust me that these are just my opinions. If you've actually worn these shoes a ton, I personally haven't, but if you have worn these a ton and my metrics are completely off, just leave a comment in the comment section and correct me for what you think is the proper metrics. But fit, I would say, is true to size. Again, I got a 9. Feels like I needed a 9.5. The cushioning, I would just give it 3 out of 5. I know it is decent, but it's not like amazing. It's not bad, but it's not good. The overall responsiveness, I'm in the same boat. I give it a 3 out of 5. It's not bounce good, it's not boost good, but it's not bad. The upper material, I would actually give a 4 out of 5. I think it really is something cool, and I like that they give a retro feel to a new model. The weight of the shoe, I would give a 3 out of 5. It is not light by any means. Like the Yeezy Boosts are definitely lighter, it feels like, but it's not crazy heavy. It's a significant shoe with a lot of rubber. The breathability, durability, its stability, I would give a 3 out of 5 as well. It's just, I hate to be that guy, but it's just average. It feels significant on feet, but not overly durable. It feels breathable, but not like prime knit breathable, obviously. And the overall structure does feel durable, obviously with this midsole and the sole, and then how it has that rubberized guard. The traction, I would give a 4 out of 5. It definitely has a lot of rubber, as I mentioned. And the overall style of the shoe, I would just give a 3 out of 5. If they had better colorways, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. And the last metric of value, $200 is a lot of money. I would give this shoe, honestly, a 3 out of 5. No resale considerations in mind. Honestly, there's a lot of other great options for dad shoes out there. So, like, honestly, if it was between these and the new Puma joints, the Puma joints has better color blocking than these. So, because of that, I would actually probably cop those instead of that. Crazy to say that, but it's true. Also, you can't really go wrong with a Monarch, and they're like 50 bucks. And the Nike Monarchs are like crazy comfortable, no lie. But anyways, those are our collective thoughts on the Yeezy Boost. Wait a minute. Yeezy 500 Desert. Wait a minute. Yeezy 500 Blushes. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let others know. And yeah, I'm curious to see how the other future releases of these shoes go and what ends up happening with this whole Yeezy thing, man. It's craziness. If you guys like this video or learned something new, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I do post content almost every day. And notification bell if you want to be notified of when those videos go live. This time, if you guys want to click the screen and watch any of the videos, feel free to do so. And check back soon. Thanks for watching. Peace, guys.